Hi everyone, I'm Kelly. Thanks for coming by my channel and this video. This is FlossTube for February 2026. I don't number them because I can't keep track of that stuff. So, like usual, I'm going to do this in parts as I have peace and quiet and time. So I am going to talk about the 4 projects that are for the Acrostic that I'm doing. It's where I live, so I'm using the letters of my city and my province and Canada. I have a stitch along project from my friend Nicola, Simply a Stitcher. She does things with her Facebook group, so I'll mention that. I continued working a bit more on its Halloween night, so I'll show you my progress on that. And I've been doing some, I guess you could call it holiday stitching, where I've taken one of my Halloween projects and I stitch on it on the 13th and the 31st. So I stitched on it twice in January for the 13th and the 31st. And once for February 13th. Now, right now, I'm filming this on Sunday the 15th. So anybody who saw my live, I talked about what I was doing and I totally forgot to show you. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait till the end now. So let's get to it a little bit and I'll film some stuff and then I'll just keep filming as we go. And eventually you'll see this video, probably the 28th. I just wanted to go through the acrostic here for the letters. So the second L for Chilliwack. I'm doing a little lavender project. That was the first week of February. I hate 4-letter words. That's going to be a magnet for myself. So I've done those 2. W, I have to do this week coming up, Winter Queen. She's in the Q snaps ready to go. And the last week of the month will be this, a well-wrapped tree, and that is going to be an ornament. For the lavender project, I went back to this book. Some of you may have seen me make little ornaments out of this book for my 12 days of Craftmas in 2025 in December. I'll show you. Sorry, it's big. It looks kind of like this. And I've got about half of it done. I used a piece of white even weave. It's most likely 28 count Jubilee, but I couldn't tell you. It's just a hunk I had. And that's what it looks like so far. It's pretty tricky, but as I work upwards, I don't have as much of the stems. There's more of the flowers, so it would be a bit more easy to get the stitching done. I only did a little bit at a time, and it looks pretty good so far, I think. For the I Hate 4-letter words project, from this book, going back to the small motifs, I think this is in April, I'm not sure, but it looks kind of like this. Don't play with the blinds. Like that. This is probably going to be the last time you see the cat in one of these videos, because son is moving out with his sister and her best friend. They've got a top half of a house, and they're getting the keys today. So that's what she looks like so far. This is some piece of scrap. It looks like it's cremata, probably the same as from the little Halloween one. I just kind of use what I've got. So there's where we are. She's sitting in an armchair with her, hands behind her head and her elbows out. You can kind of get that. There's a bit of her face. The armchair's all in blue. It's washing out, but it's definitely cream, not, I don't know, it looks like it's antique white, but it's not. There. Okay, a bit more filming. Today is Friday the 20th. I have peace and quiet again. Winter Queen, as you saw before, is part of the acrostic. Now, this is what she is supposed to look like. As charted, Mirabilia, ages and ages and ages ago. Those of you who have been around my channel for a while, you know that mine is not blue. I'm going to put pictures up here as I'm talking of the full what she looks like. I'll show you too, but a full thing of what she looks like, and the bottom part before I started, because that's what I've been working on. Not that I got a lot done. I'm busy with sewing and a bunch of other stuff this week, but Winter Queen was worked on between Valentine's Day and, actually I just put the last couple of stitches in her this morning, and then I took her to the Q-snap to show you. So, we're right here. I was working mostly down here. I did some of the white to finish in the swag. The purple all comes down here too. There's more white coming down here, but I started going along here because her skirt kind of goes like this, with the purple that goes this way. Lavender, lilac, whatever you want to call it. I'll try to get as close as possible. This is 32 count pewter gray Lugana. And I started this project probably about 2002. Okay, I'm going to back up and try and show you the whole thing. There we go. That's not too bad. From the bottom part of that purple that I stitched on her skirt, there's maybe like 15 stitches that carry on down below, and then I'm at the bottom of the chart. And when I work on her next, I'm going to go back to fixing up in her lap area the white that I picked out all the whisper of. And she needs to whack more beads eventually too. But I'll probably do those last. The last project for the Acrostic for February is from this old magazine. It's called A Well-Wrapped Tree. Here's a picture of it. See, it looks like a tree that's like wrapped presents. I thought it was kind of cute. And that's sort of what the chart looks like. I'm changing it up slightly because this backstitch garlandy bit is supposed to be a combination of a particular blending filament and I think it's 3764. One of the purpley colors anyway. But I have the color of the Krynic as number 4 braid, not blending filament. So I'm just going to use just that and don't do blending, only the number 4 braid. But other than that, it basically is what it is. I just found that I am missing 2 of the greens that I thought I had, but I don't. And I don't have the beads, so I'll have to get those. But there you go, that's kind of what it... Not showing you the chart closely, but you get the idea. And just because I don't have all the colors, I did some of it. It's a piece of cremata. I thought it was 14 count, but I think it's actually 16. So I just, whoops, sorry about that. I just kind of work my way up toward the top. I'm going to leave this piece of blue hanging here until I stitch greens in there. And then I'll clip it off. But I'm just about to the top. There's some beads and some of that Krynic will go up here too, but that's what it looks like at the moment. The bottom is down here. It'll be a largish ornament, but it's not that bad. I will show you the little Halloween project first. Now, I'm going to put a picture up of what it looked like before I started, so you can see what it looks like. It's not that big. You'll get the idea pretty quickly. So after 3 sessions of stitching, it looks like this. I was working on the books. So the spells is almost done. I just have to do 20 more stitches of green, and I started on the other book. It has the same yellow book pages as this. And there is going to have to be more orange steam coming around, and there's some Krynics up here too for sparklies. This is a piece of cream Ada, a chunk I had. I'm sure it's 14 count. I'll come closer. That's what it looks like so far. I'll put it aside for now. I only have this chart but you can sort of see what it's supposed to look like. As usual, any of my YouTube friends I mention will get a tag in the description box, and if there are any websites I talk about, I will put links in the description box. I try to be as clear as possible. Now, speaking of, Nicola, Simply a Stitcher, she has a Facebook group, and there's a monthly stitch along with a theme. I took a quick photo of that theme, so I'll put it up here, and you can see it is F in February. Mainly for animals, flowers, so fur, feathers, etc., etc. But Nicola did say, obviously, that I could do yippee-ki-yay, because you know the words for that. But I'm doing that as the 25th stitch for Christmas theme, so you'll see that eventually. But I went back to my little polar bear, the ornament I'm doing, because he's the only animal I got going. And he's from this book. There's lots of little motifs. They're sort of like a whole winter themed one, so that's where I got him from. And let me get my little board here. He's almost done. So, there we go. All of the white and the pale blue for the fur is stitched. I started the dark green for the fir tree, and it just needs some lighter green, sort of a greenish blue, and then a bunch of backstitch. And then the little guy's done. This is a hunk of the same pewter gray that Winter Queen is on. I just had a bit left. So, there we go. He's cute, isn't he? I think he's got some personality. I did a little bit more stitching on It's Halloween Night, and I will show you what it looked like previous to now, up here somewhere. The artwork is by Eda Jose Rosa, and the chart is from Stitches So Beautiful. Now, I am doing the small version. The chart has 40,000 stitches, and at the moment, what I'm going to show you is 2,832 stitches and 7.08%. Apologies for the hanging threads. I am pretty much working across in the typewriter method that is described by Stitching Mummy, and Anne, the Max Color Stitcher, she does this too. So take a color from the top, work it this way, work it down, stitch out your threads, park if you need to. There's a lot of confetti in this moon, that's why I got some parked ones. I was trying to get across the top, and I will probably continue to go across the top and do a row. I just wanted to see what this moon looked like. And I think it's coming in pretty good. I think for a small chart, I think it's got enough detail. It's a little odd up here with the black, but it's sort of like just dark night, so I don't think it really matters. But I'm pleased with how the moon looks. So as I go down and do the castle or whatever, the house or whatever that is, and the big pumpkin, I think they'll be fine too. This is 16 count Ada. I think it's like antique white or something. I just had a big enough piece, so I used it. I probably will not stitch on this much coming up, although it does have one acrostic for one of the eyes in British, for British Columbia, but I don't know which one, so I'll get to that eventually. I think it looks like a spooky moon.